Usually 3 people can keep a secret only when 2 of them are dead.
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies.
Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerd is the New Bully. I'm your host Leroy, aka Cyber Monday, with my co-host.
This is Eli Walnuts.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's something sexual in that too. We're not going to go there. We don't want to get flagged.
That's just your mind. That's where you just
I
go.
see what I want to see. Okay. Okay, Rorschach. All right, let's keep going.
I know it's about me busting balls. You know,
Okay, see, I definitely want to think about
walnuts,
that.
balls, ball busters. You know what I'm saying? Breaking chops.
Okay,
That's right.
I kind of see it has a double entendre to it. Okay. And see, I'm thinking about walnuts. I'm thinking about like pie and shit, you know. What was we talking about? Oh, yeah, we got a show to do. Yeah, welcome to the Comic Book Bullies. We are back, and we got a brand new episode, and we got a whole bunch of crazy shit we want to talk about. First thing, even though this is a comic book episode, we're actually going to talk about real cinema. Ooh.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, for the first time ever. Not that bullshit.
Does it count? Does it count? Because it wasn't in the movie.
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't matter. The point is, it's real cinema. It's not a theme park ride. I can't ride it. I can't go to the music park.
Yeah.
I can only experience it.
Damn! If Endgame was only allowed to watch on my phone.
If only it was on some kind of a subscription service that was owned by Disney that's accessed on every single. Oh well. Anyway, what are we talking about? Hey, can we just jump right into it? I know we usually cut off with the bullshit banter of me doing some crazy shit in my life. Let's just jump into it because we got a lot of stuff to unpack.
Yeah.
So let's do.
Nobody died, right? Nobody died.
Not yet. Let's go through this shit before somebody dies.
Okay.
All right, so let's start out with the box office numbers. And Eli, give it to me. What is the number one movie of the week?
Probably Frozen.
It was Frozen. Frozen 2.
Frozen
and even
2.
in its second week, also it still did 85 million.
Oh, there you go.
Who's watching this shit?
Kids and their parents, and it was Thanksgiving weekend, man.
You know what's funny about it? Like 2 weeks ago, my mom wanted to take my nephew to go see Frozen because he said something. I want to see Frozen. But then the day of, when I go down there, you want to see Frozen? No, I don't want to see that. Like, okay. Number 2. Oh, Eli, I'm gonna give you 2 guesses. We don't only do 1, but I'm gonna give you 2 this time. What was the number 2 movie?
Joker?
No, that's hell, is it even still on there? It's still on there, but that's not it.
Oh.
The number 2 movie was Knives Out.
Oh, no shit. It made that much money?
It made that much money. I mean, they had like everybody in this movie.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, I kind of wanted to see it, but I was just like, nah. But since you saw it, go ahead and give me a review of it. What you think about it?
I liked it. It was a murder mystery, kind of like
Clue.
Agatha Christie, Clue, yeah. Who done it? You know, this family trying to figure out who killed the patriarch. Daniel Craig, you know, James Bond. He plays like this quirky, like detective, kind of not bumbling, not like an Inspector Clouseau like Pink Panther, but he's kind of comical. He talks like with a real Southern accent. They keep calling him like, what's his name, the KFC guy, Colonel Sanders. Dude.
Oh yeah. English guy doing a Southern accent. That sounds scary, but okay.
Yeah. And it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was funny. It was actually pretty funny. I was laughing a lot. But yeah, I liked it. It was cool.
Oh, and I heard it was made by Ryan Johnson, who I thought we ran him out of Hollywood.
Yeah, but here he is back to say, yeah, D's nuts, motherfucker. It's like, this is like a very low key kind of movie after, you know, doing Star Wars and, you know, the big, huge, you know, big budget effects extravaganza. Then, okay, I'm going to do a movie, just a bunch of people talking. And this is
because if people only know him from Star Wars, they would get triggered by him. He actually is a like really good director. You know, he did Looper.
Yeah, Looper, and he did something else.
Did some other shit too.
Brick, yeah, he did Brick, and
Yeah.
Yeah, before he did Star Wars.
Yeah, so believe it or not, he's actually talented, you know.
Yeah.
They hired him for Star Wars for a reason, I guess.
Yeah.
They like how he make movies.
Yeah, they hired an actual filmmaker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Won't happen again.
Right, not anymore.
You got a unique voice. You don't get the job.
Right.
We want this yes man asshole who's gonna fucking kiss our asses.
Right. Spike Lee for Star Wars? Get the fuck out of here. Even though that does sound amazing, I kind of want to see that.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so third movie we have is Ford versus Ferrari. I still want to see that. I haven't seen that movie yet. Number 4, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. The Tom Hanks
Oh, yeah.
Oscar thing. You know
Yeah.
he's gonna be nominated for Oscar. We know that.
Yeah.
Number 5, Queen and Slim. Still hanging in there. Sounds bad, but like I said,
is that movie where they shoot a cop or something?
Black, Blondie, and Clyde. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's scared to say that, but that's basically what it is. It's not that. It's so much more. No, it's Black, Blondie, and Clyde. That's what it is.
It's black natural born killers.
Right. So we've seen the movie before, but whatever. It seemed to be getting good praise for it. People are liking it, so I might check it out. That being said, we got number 6. We had 21 Bridges still slipping down there. I think we might have to call this one, Eli. I think we might have to call it. It's
What is it? Number 6?
number 6.
Yeah.
Second week. Might have to call this. It's a flop. Sorry, Russo's. He's got Black Panther too, so he'll be fine. Number 7, Playing with Fire. Have no idea what the fuck that is.
That's the John Cena firefighter movie.
You told me that 3 weeks ago.
With the kids, yeah.
I know. Matter of fact, you told me for the last 4 weeks, and I keep forgetting this shit. It's gonna stick this time. Number 8, Midway, the World War II movie. That's cool. Number 9, Joker, still hanging in there. And crazy. Already broke the record for the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. Period. Not comic book related, just R-rated. Period. Still climbing. And number 10, Last Christmas, which I think is that Game of Thrones chick movie.
Okay. I keep want to think it's a Kirk Cameron movie, but I guess not.
It's that movies he would make, but I guess he scheduling conflict or whatever the fuck they call it.
Last Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're waiting on Black Christmas because that's the horror movie coming out. Now, here's the thing. That movie's going to be rated PG-13.
Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna suck. Then.
I'm like, why? A PG-13 horror movie, then you've already killed yourself right then. So
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about some other shit. We're just going to touch some brief stuff real quick. Eli, I know I sent you that Instagram pic of Zoe Kravitz the other night. And no,
Yeah.
it was not because it's the end
At
of
like 3 in the morning. Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember.
I didn't realize it was that late at night, so no, it was not. I was not reaching the spank bank of No Nut November, getting ready to celebrate. Let's wait for the clock to hit 12. 3, 2.
Got the day off tomorrow.
Right. No, it wasn't that. Only reason I showed you the pic because she posted the pic on Instagram. I looked at it and she has the pixie cut. She has the pixie cut like Selena Kyle. And I'm like, so now when I see the pixie cut and I see her facial bone structure, I see it. I see Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I was looking for. I mean, just, become the role. That's all. So she didn't say she was doing it for the movie. She just said, hey, I cut my hair, and that's it. So I thought, why not? Got excited. Let's talk about your boy, John Boyega.
Okay.
Now, your boy John Boyega got in some trouble because about a couple weeks ago, apparently the script to Star Wars: The Rise of the Skywalker was on eBay being sold for $65. And nobody know how it got there. Yeah. They didn't know what they had, so they was like $65, why not, So they asked who did it. J.J. Abrams didn't know who did it. Daisy really didn't know who did it. They asked John Boyega. He was like, oh, my bad, I did it. I was partying. We had some girls come over one time. I got distracted. We moved away from the apartment, and some guy just found it and sold it on eBay. Well, it was about to sell on eBay, but he said Disney bought eBay or some shit. They can do that, So anyway, they got the script back. But yeah, that's kind of fuck up. But honestly, I wouldn't, even if the script
Some
was out,
dead hookers fucking popped up in a dumpster somewhere.
right? They'll find a way. But honestly, stuff like that, I don't even want to know the movie. Like, you spoiling it for yourself. I don't know why there's so many assholes out there, because if somebody got their hands on it, they would. If somebody was out there that had the spoiler or the script of every single plot on Rise of Skywalker, whatever this name of the movie is, they would post it online. Every single detail, and would not give a fuck. Just like the Han Solo shit when he died in Episode 7, Force Awakens.
Or Gomer with Endgame when he was
Like, does not give a fuck. Just saying
did he
this
almost
shit.
get fired or some shit?
Like, right. Like, I know you don't give a fuck. Like, I mean, damn. Yeah, but people were leaking that Han Solo died shit. Like, the movie didn't come out till Friday, right? They were leaking that shit on Monday. Like, we don't even have time to see the movie. You just see the spoiler. Han Solo dies. That's it. Like, what the fuck, man? What other movie was that? Oh, like Endgame, like you're saying, Gomer did it, but there was a whole bunch of other assholes. I'm not calling Gomer an asshole. I'm just saying other assholes that was out there spoiling it also. Just like Tony Stark dies, Captain America gets old, the end. And it's just like, I don't give a fuck. They didn't even see the movie. They just saw somebody else and just spoiled it for other people.
Yeah.
So, like the day of, I'm like, this is this thing. So, yeah, what we talking about? Good movie, bad movie? I can't remember.
John Boyega.
Oh yeah, TBD. We'll find out whether it's a good movie, bad movie. Saw the quick news right there. Now we're gonna get into some reviews. Don't worry, we're gonna get to the big shit. We're gonna get to the real cinema in a second. But I just want to knock out some other shit that I saw real quick. Now, since I'm the only person that still has the DC Universe app apparently on the planet, because everybody else has moved over to Disney Plus, waiting for HBO Max.
I still got it. I still got my shit.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, we're the last two roaming the earth with DC Universe. We are solely keeping the comic book bullies are solely financing DC Universe. So that's how that works. But anyway, what I saw on there was actually two shows, not one show, but two shows that came on Friday. And one show was, and the show we haven't talked about on this show probably anytime in the last 6 or 7 months, but Teen Titans. Well, not Teen Titans, Titans. Titans premiered, and last episode came on. I think it was episode 10, maybe. I lost track of how many episodes it was. Complete season. Season 2 is done. That's it. Show's not done because they've actually been renewed already for season 3.
No
So,
shit.
yeah, so it's good. So the last episode of season 2, what happened was Dick Grayson finally becomes Nightwing. And some other shit happens too, but that's basically the hook of the whole point. And now what I think about this whole episode was pretty much how I feel about the entire season of Titans. It was all over the fucking place. Because plot had actually nothing to do with Nightwing or Deathstroke. Like, Deathstroke has been fucking with the Titans for the entire season, and they pretty much take care of him in like the first 10 minutes. And then the other episode is about something else completely different, like Cadmus, Superboy, and Starfire's sister come back from space. And there's so much shit just flying around. Oh, and Wonder Girl dies. Yeah. Oh, man, rest in peace to Wonder Girl's ass in that leather suit. I know I'm getting distracted, but that shit made me cry, man. When she turned around and you could just see her just walking in the seat. I'm like, no, not Wonder Girl. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, so she's dead. They got a whole bunch of other Titan members there. They setting the seeds for season 3. But like I said, season 2 was just jumping around so much. It had so many plots they were trying to juggle. They kind of adapted, what was the story? The Judas Contract. They kind of adapted it a little bit, but they tweaked it and did their own thing to it. That's cool. But they also had like the Superboy story where he's half Superman, half Lex Luthor. Oh, and Mercy Graves was actually the big bad of season 2, not Deathstroke. They build it up to be Deathstroke, but it's really Mercy Graves. What other plot they had? Like I said, the other plot line, Blackfire, Starfire's sister, was trying to take over the universe, some shit like that, but they've been fucking with her the whole time. Raven's powers getting crazy. So it was all kind of just crazy shit. Jason Todd is there. He didn't die. Everybody wanted him to be dead, but somehow he lived. I don't know how, and he just rides off and he quits being Batman. He quits being Robin, basically. He just rides off on a motorbike and that's it at the end. Oh, I do want to say one thing about season 2 is that they pretty much had the worst live action Bruce Wayne ever of all time. He was terrible.
Oh yeah.
He was one of those Game of Thrones guys. Like I said, I don't watch the show, so I don't know. So, which is funny.
I don't watch Teen Titans, so I don't know.
So we're in the same boat, right? Which is funny because in season 1, Raven was actually watching Game of Thrones.
Oh really?
So it's like this weird fourth wall breakage, whatever. It don't matter. Anyway, I don't know how to feel about season 2 overall because there was some awesome shit in this season. There's also some bad shit in the season because it felt like they're trying to course correct some of the shaky shit that was in season 1, but they tried to add new elements and it kind of clashed from time to time. Like every good episode, then there was a bad episode, or there was some bad moments in a good episode, and you're just like, I don't know. Like Superboy, why the fuck was he even there? he was just there, but didn't really seem to serve a purpose. His plot lines came like towards the end. I'm just like, I don't know. So overall, I'm gonna give. Honestly, I think season 2 of Titans was worse than season 1 of Titans. That's just me. Even though there was some awesome shit in there from time to time. I'm hoping season 3 but I'm still excited for season 3 because I'm hoping in season 3 they can tie all this back together and find out how to make this like cohesive. Because season 2 was. It felt like it really did feel like about 3 or 4 people were like writing and they're all pitching in and they didn't know how to make it all pitch. Like to make it all fit and make sense. Because they could have easily had it where Deathstroke was hired by Mercy Graves to kill the Titans, but they didn't do that. It was just some other wild shit. So, I don't know. That's all I got.
Well, that's a damn shame.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know I got you excited to keep your DC Universe happy, Eli, but oh well. So when you cancel, then I'm going to be financing DC Universe by myself. Half of the comic bullies will be financing DC Universe.
Yeah, I'm just reading the books right now.
Right. Oh shit! What you reading on now?
I'm going through the Green Lantern shit. Oh, and I read White Knight last couple days. That was on Comixology.
Okay, which one? Like the first book or the second book?
The first one, the first Batman White Knight. Because I didn't read it. I remember you talking about it, but I never read it. When it popped up.
I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I liked it too. The trade showed up on Comixology, so I'm like, well, fuck it. I haven't read this, so
right.
I'll check it out.
So why not?
So, spent a couple days reading that, and it was good.
Okay. Oh, some other shit that I watched also. Like I said, Titans was one thing. And I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. The next thing I watched was Harley Quinn. She has a cartoon.
Oh, is that on there now?
That's on the DC Universe app. Harley Quinn cartoon. What do I think about it? I don't know. It's parts of it that's okay. I watched it. It's supposed to be like a comedic things like that. I did get a few chuckles every now and then on it, but the first show to me actually was a little kind of rough. You know, one thing I did like about it, I must just spoil this for you. At the end, Riddler is actually like the big bad of this episode, and he captured both Batman and Harley Quinn, and he's giving Joker the choice of who do you want to live. He's like, shit, Batman. Kill Harley. I don't give a fuck about her. You know? So it was some funny shit that's going in there. But the next episode, she's gonna try to join the Legion of Doom or whatever like that. So it interests me enough to keep it going.
I heard it's like R-rated too.
Oh yeah, like super hard R-rated. Like Harley is cussing up a storm left and right. Joker's there, like blood, broken bones, all kind of stuff. Yeah, it's like super violent.
Okay, well then I might check it out.
Yeah, it's.
I'm paying for it. I might as well.
Yeah, if you're paying for it, why not? So it caught my attention, so I'm gonna keep watching to see if it gets any better. So we got that. Ooh, do we want to talk about HBO for a second?
Do we want to? Because holy shit.
Briefly.
Holy shit.
Yes.
That's all I got to say.
That's what I was. I was like,
holy
what the
shit.
fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mind was blown on the Watchmen.
We're not going to talk about it. We will come back and revisit it because we're going to do a blowout.
Yeah, that was quite the humdinger.
Yeah. So, like I said, episode 6 was insane, but episode 7, that last ending, like, what the fuck?
I think it's 7.
Yeah. So just
even when they revealed, there was a couple of big reveals in this episode that I was like, whoa, word?
Right.
Whoa, holy shit, that's fucked up. And then I was like, whoa, that's fucked up. And then there's like the ending of the episode. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? That was just like, okay.
But at the same time, they're following the books. Because the thing was, they say in the books, like, Vietnam, they pretty much worship Dr. Manhattan as a god. So when you see them in Vietnam, they're worshiping him as a god.
Yeah.
Like, he's a religious figure to them. Like, it all makes sense. Oh, another thing, like, how you said go back and read those excerpts in the back of the Watchmen books and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting to do that now. And remember, a lot of people are talking about, like the last episode where Hooded Justice and Captain Metropolis, had their relationship, whatever like that. Like, oh, they're pushing an agenda. That was in the book. No, that was in the book.
Mm-hmm.
It was there in plain sight. The whole thing was the Silk Spectre, like the original one. She was Hooded Justice's beard. Like, she pretended to be his girlfriend to throw the scent off the reporters because they ever find out that their leader in Hooded Justice had a thing going on in the 50s and the 60s. It would shut the team down.
Yeah. So
all that was in the book. So don't say that it wasn't there because it is there. Just read more comics. That's all. So we got that. Oh, let's get into it. Real cinema. Not this corny cartoon bullshit we've been talking about for the last 3 years.
Yeah. The thing we've been what keeps our light on.
Exactly. Not the shit that people actually want to listen to. No, we're going to talk about real cinema now. What we've been talking about now, for those that don't know the inside joke of what's going on, basically Martin Scorsese came on attack on Marvel movies. That when he say Marvel movies, he really talking about just blockbusters.
Did he really attack them? They just asked him, and he just said, "Hey, yeah, that." And then
I felt personally attacked. That's just
took
me.
it as an attack.
I felt personally attacked, so that's just me. But they asked him about comic book movies, and he said he doesn't really watch them. It's not his thing. It's not into him. But he took it a step further and said they're not real cinema. These movies are not cinema. They're more like theme park rides. You know, that's basically what he was saying about that. While he was saying all this, while he's promoting his new movie, you know, that's actually not in the theaters.
It's not in the theaters. It had like a small theatrical, like art house run.
Right, just to say, because I think to be nominated for an Oscar or something like that, like you have to have some kind of theatrical run. Just to say they did it, but it's really just a Netflix release. So yes, this cinematic movie that's supposed to be real cinema can only be watched on your phone or Fire Stick. Mm-hmm. Can't go to the theater and watch it. So I'm thinking, like, shouldn't real cinema, like one of the things, should actually be in a, I don't know.
And that's the thing. I read an interview because, like, I am a Scorsese fan. I even wrote a paper on him in film class. But he even said, like, he acknowledged, this is before all this comic book fans, you know, got their panties in a bunch over what he said. He said this months ago. He's like, we're in, like, one of the biggest cinematic revolutions since they invented sound. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like one of the biggest digital media, the digital platforms, Netflix, and people watching movies on, you know, mobile devices is like the biggest cinematic revolution since they invented sound for movies. Mm-hmm. So he's like, he took this as a chance to do this, you know, and there's shit he liked about it and there's shit he didn't like about it. What he did like about it is the fact that Netflix kind of gave him free reign. And, like, you can make it as long as you want because now you don't have to deal with the studio. Oh, you got to cut this down. You got to cut that down. You got to make it shorter. Blah. He's like, no, fuck it. You can do whatever fuck you want. You can make it as long as you want. And if people want to watch the shit, they can watch it whenever the fuck they want, however they want, pause it, whatever. So he's like, all right, cool. So he basically this is like the final fucking cut version of what he wanted to do. Mm-hmm. You know, so that was the advantage of Netflix, what he thought, you know. So he is embracing the future. You know.
My only thing is that I thought, like everybody, I guess everybody has their own rules of what is real cinema and what isn't real cinema. Now he's saying their theme park rides like that, but my thing is that cinema is something that's supposed to be in the movie theater because cinema has to be shared. I feel like with other people, like I have to be in a crowd with other people experiencing the same movie and the same experience that they are. I feel like that is a cinematic experience.
Yeah. And that's where I didn't agree either, because I mean, one of the greatest movie going experiences this year was Endgame, and hearing the crowd reaction, and you know, being in that theater with that group and that collective experience was one of the greatest moments of the movies I had this summer.
Right.
You know, so I mean, yeah, I don't agree with some of the stuff he said, but I mean, but in the end, I'm like, he's an old guy, you know, whatever.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I say,
I don't expect him to like this shit, and just like I don't expect hardcore comic book fans to like his movies. You know, I know I'm an anomaly. I know I like gangster movies.
No, that's the thing. You're not. Actually, you're not an anomaly. That's the thing. See, that's one thing we have to understand. We have to make sure we don't live in this bubble that everybody likes these movies.
Yeah,
because they don't. I know several people that have never seen a Marvel movie, don't give two shits about any of these Marvel movies. And wouldn't go there, drag them.
My sister's one of them. Yeah.
Right, my mom is one of them. You know, I was take her to go see a movie, and she completely forgot she even watched it. You know, so yeah, we can't live in this bubble thinking that everybody loves these movies because reality is they don't. Yes, they are genre movies, so if people are into this genre, they're gonna like them. But for a lot of people, and I know some,
the internet is basically vocal. Whoever's on the internet, that's who watches.
Release the Snyder Cut. Those guys.
Yeah.
Right. But if you're not on social media all the day and you're not on the internet all day, you're not bitching about these movies or listen to our podcast, you don't give a shit about these movies.
Yeah.
And as we understand, like everybody has their own opinion. My band director used to always say, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
Well,
So-
everyone's one.
or that too, right? Maybe he misquoted when he said it, but yeah.
That's what I go by.
So Martin Scorsese didn't like his movies. That's cool. But Martin Scorsese is also making another gangster movie, and some people don't like those either.
Yeah.
So, like we say, well, everybody can like whatever they like. It's cool.
And that's the thing about Martin Scorsese. His gangster movies, he's only made like what, 4 of them now?
True.
He's made like
but we
he's
got
made like 30 fucking movies.
that is true. But his most popular movies
They are his most popular ones. Yeah.
right. And his latest movie is a gangster movie. So
Yeah.
it's not helping his cause. Like, yes, the popular opinion of Martin Scorsese, even though, like you said, he made 30 movies of all kind of genres. But
Yeah.
people just think he's that guy that makes gangster movies.
Yeah.
Like he only knows how to do one thing, you know.
Yeah, his last movie was a movie about priests in Japan getting fucking tortured to death.
Right. But did anybody see that?
No. I saw it, but nobody else did because everyone was bitching about BVS at the time.
Right.
I remember when that shit came out.
But all right, let's just dive into the movie. Like I said, we should know Martin Scorsese enough. And the thing is, we both love Martin Scorsese because we can like more than one to him. Like, even though this is a comic book podcast and we always review comic book movies, we do like other type of movies.
Yeah.
Like, if I just sit there and just watch superhero movies all day long, me personally, I would go crazy. I wouldn't recommend anybody just to do that shit.
Today, me and my brother and sister, we all went and saw When Harry Met Sally.
Mhm.
You know, it was the 30th anniversary. It was one of my mom's favorite movies, a romantic comedy. You know, Billy Crystal, what's her name, Meg Ryan.
Mhm.
You know, classic
America's Sweetheart. Back then.
Yeah, classic. You know, romantic comedy. One of my mom's favorite movies. You know, rest in peace, my mom. You know, we're like, hey, let's go see that. And Mom liked that movie. Okay, sure. So, like, yeah, let's go. You know, so I did. I went and saw a romantic comedy in the theater. That's 30 years old. You know, so yeah, I came home and watched the fucking Watchmen.
It's called balance.
And read my comic books.
Right.
You know?
Like,
I
you
still
can do
managed to
both.
watch. Yeah, and still managed to watch The Irishman twice over Thanksgiving break.
Right.
Because that's how much I like this movie. Well, yeah, let's talk about The Irishman.
Let's talk about The Irishman. Okay. Eli, I'm going to let you go first. 'Cause like I said, this is your wheelhouse. Like I said, you are the
Okay.
Scorsese expert.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to let you go first. Just give me a quick, synopsis of what you think about the movie.
Well, I thought it was great. I was really excited. When I first heard about this movie like 3-4 years ago when they announced it, I'm like, oh, that's going to be great. You know, he's getting the band back together. You know what I mean? This is like the Temptations, reuniting. You know what I'm saying? It's like Wu-Tang announcing, like, hey, all the members are going to get back together and we're going to go do a show and shit like that. So that's what it was like. He's getting, it's Scorsese, De Niro, Pesci, and then they're throwing in Al Pacino, who he's never worked with before.
Which is
And Al
shocking. You think he would have. But
Yeah. So Al Pacino, he's been known for Godfather and Scarface, So all these like iconic actors from the gangster movie genre are getting together. Harvey Keitel as well. They're getting together. They're going to make this fucking movie about this guy who worked with Hoffa. That's about all I knew about it. I was, I can't wait for that. So I was really excited to see this movie. And if it was in the theater, I would have totally fucking went and saw it, But I did like it. I thought it was a very different take on the gangster movie genre.
Mm-hmm.
This was more about the reflective life of the criminal lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Someone said they kind of said it's like what Unforgiven did to Westerns, The Irishman does for gangster movies. Sort of Martin Scorsese's tribute to that genre and those films and that lifestyle. And where it's basically the story about an old man reflecting on his life of crime, his life of evil, and the toll that took on him, on his family, and how he ends up just broken, sad, old wretch of a soul at the end. It's quite tragic. Most of the gangster movies, that's what people don't understand. People might miss the point that gangster movies, especially Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola movie, the Godfather movies. Those are tragedies.
Right.
So they're not. I know we like to glorify them and we think they're cool when we see everybody kicking their ass and shit, but they're tragic stories. They're always about the guy, the gangster, falling from grace. We see him rise, but then you see him fall. And this movie, they really emphasize on the fall from grace and what it does to their lives, what it does to their family. They really focus on the family and the kids of what these criminals are doing. And these are real life gangsters.
Which I didn't know that watching the movie at first.
Yeah, and I thought that was really well done. Like it to me, it was almost like the anti-Goodfellas. You know what I mean? The anti-Godfather, so to speak. You know what I mean? Because it didn't glorify the gangster genre. It sort of like, no, this is kind of fucked up. It really emphasized that, and that's what I thought was it was a different take for me. I didn't expect that. And I watched it twice now, and I'm starting to notice more things. And like really getting into how he sort of portrays, what it did to the family, what it did to him, and what it did to the gangsters are not glorified. In fact, every time he introduces a well-known mobster,
it shows
how they died.
Yeah.
It shows how they died. Here's Fat Tony Salerno died of fucking cancer or whatever the fuck. And it shows him as an old man getting a colonoscopy and shit. I mean, this is, these big bad badasses that we glorify, these mobsters that, hip hop and, people glorify as these, criminal figures. We see them get old and decrepit and die. And the guy, at the end, Joe Pesci can't even chew his bread. And he's in a wheelchair. I mean, you just see these guys.
What is worse? Is it dying young, violently, tragically,
like going out like Scarface? Yeah.
Or living your life the whole time with none of your family fooling with you. All of your friends are dead. Half of them you killed yourself. What's worse?
Yeah, the scene at the end when he can't reconcile with his daughter is so fucking heartbreaking. I mean, the second time watching it, I was like, wow, this is like really sad. I said, like how he's like trying to explain to his daughter, I tried to protect you. There's some bad guys out there. And she's like, you were the bad guy.
Right.
You were doing all kinds of shit. We know what you were doing, and so yeah, I mean, that's it. It really emphasized the tragic life of a gangster, and that it's as much as we like to glorify, as much as these movies like Goodfellas and Godfather have glorified the criminal lifestyle and made this romantic stereotype of how cool it is to be a gangster and shit. Mm-hmm. And, Martin Scorsese really showed us like, no, it's really not. And that's what I really liked about this movie. So, did I go a little too? I'll let you start talking. Because I can go.
I won't let you answer. You got to stop scoring.
I give it a 5 out of 5. I think it lived up to the hype. I wish I could have saw it in the theater, but the fact that it was on Netflix let me see it again. Like I watched it twice now, and even though it's 3.5 hours long, I mean, The Godfather Part 2 is 3.5 hours. I just saw that in the theater last month.
No bathroom breaks, nothing.
No, but it doesn't. It's not. It's very well paced. They're really, to me, I didn't think it really dragged anywhere. I mean, I think for me it dragged when it dealt with the real life stuff. When they stopped to talk about Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis and all those like real life events that were going on. That's when I kind of like, okay, I want to get back into the story.
Right. Because they were talking about the world, but when I talk about the three guys that
yeah, because it is a story about these three characters. Frank Sheeran, played by Robert De Niro, who was the hitman who worked for Russ Russolino, what's his name?
Buffalino,
but Russ, whatever his name was. Joe Pesci's character. I couldn't think of Joe Pesci's name. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
He worked for him, but then they had him like kind of protecting Jimmy Hoffa. So you see like that three dynamic of those friendship and how it prospered for so long and then it deteriorated. So it's about loyalty and betrayal, and duty and, the code of honor, the code of the mob and what they had to do. And the performances were great. Even the CGI, I didn't even mind the CGI.
I was going to ask you about the CGI, yeah.
Yeah, the CGI, I wasn't bothered by it no more than I was from any other, Marvel movie that de-ages people or if somebody's in prosthetic makeup. Right. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, but the performances sold it for me, And this movie has classic scenes. I mean, I won't get into them now, but there's some classic Scorsese style scenes in this movie that I just that I loved, And Al Pacino as Jimmy Hoffa, holy shit, that was gold. He was such a fucking ball breaker. I'm like, holy shit, he got away with that, talking all that shit for so long without getting killed.
Right. I mean, they gave him every chance they could. Eventually,
and they did. They're like, we did everything we could. He just won't listen. Until the end, he's just constantly talking shit.
Yeah. Especially when he said, "Oh, do you think that if these the same guys that killed the president, you don't think they can kill the president of the union?" You're like, "Oh shit, they just said that."
President of the union.
Yeah. Like they killed the president. They can kill you.
That scene with Tony Provenzano, the little guy who was in jail. There's the jail where they get into the argument, and then they have the sit down, and he's just talking shit. I'm like, holy fuck, that's a racial slur, you people. I want an apology. No, I ain't apologizing, you fucking what? I'm like, oh. And then he's asking Frank about, hey, you think Russell do something about the little guys? Like, did Jimmy Hoffa just ask to, kill another mob guy, a made mob guy?
Right.
Like, holy shit, this guy. I mean, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of classic Scorsese type of moments that happened in this movie that I absolutely loved. Nope. That I was just so, I was giddy. I was watching this, laughing my ass off. Like, I started it after work, like around midnight. And then I watched it in all one sitting. And I was laughing. I was like, holy shit. And then towards the end, I mean, that good hour in the middle, when he's like, they're going on to Detroit, and Russ finally says, hey, before we go to the wedding, I'm going to have you fly to Detroit. Take care of this thing. Right. You're going to fly back. And then we're going to drive up and go to the
And he knew exactly what he was talking about, right?
Yeah, I mean,
that's when in the army, like, hurry back. That means take the guy out. Yeah.
Yeah. I know how you feel. And that was such a great scene. And De Niro, classic De Niro, where he doesn't say nothing. He just sits there and nods. Just like that blank expression. I was like, hey, and Joe Pesci's like, I know how you feel, man, but we did everything we could for the guy. Because he was friends with Jimmy Hoffa. That was his friend. It's like, you got to go kill your friend. Is it? But because you're his friend, they wanted to kill you too. He's like telling him you were going to die too, but they're not, because I told them not to. Out of respect to me, you're not gonna get killed, but you got to kill him though. And just like he's got to sit there and take it. And De Niro's just like going through it over his head. That just the despair in his face that you can see without even saying anything. I was like, wow, Yeah, I loved it. I started watching it again.
Okay, now let me go. I mean, like I said, okay. I was outside smoking a cigarette where you were going. All right, like I said, you gave this movie a 5 out of 5. Eli, I did not like this movie as much as you did.
Okay.
Sorry, that's why we're going to get two conflicting reviews on this right now. Like I said, this movie was 3 hours 35 minutes. You said it was perfectly paced. I don't agree with that. I think it did drag in some parts. I think it was boring in some parts. Matter of fact, the reason I watched it twice, because the first time I watched this movie, I hated it. Like, flat out hated it. I was like, man, I can't watch this shit again. But I watched it again. Just to actually sit down, what parts I missed, stuff like that. And the second time, I actually did get into it. Now, 3 hours, 35 minutes. This is a long movie. This movie is a commitment for everybody getting ready to watch this.
It is.
Sit aside, a time of your day and just sit down and watch the movie, because I want to break down the first hours. Honestly, Eli, the first hour of this movie, I hated it. I thought it was super boring. It was convoluted because you had all those time jumps going around all over the place, stuff like that.
Yeah, that is true.
hated the first hour. I was like, oh, I'm ready to cut this shit off. What time is it? Fuck, we're 20 minutes in? Shit. That's how I was like. But the moment Al Pacino showed up, the movie took off.
That's like hour and a half in.
Right, exactly.
It's like 90 minutes in, he don't show up till.
Yeah, it takes a while for Al Pacino to show up. But the moment he shows up in the movie, that's when the movie takes off. That's when the movie like, okay, I'm into it now. I'm invested. Everything that just happened in the movie before, matter of fact, it actually, to me, it even becomes Al Pacino's movie. When the moment he's there, it becomes his movie because I feel like he just so much screen presence. He just steals every scene he's in it. Like it just takes over from him. And it shocked me because I didn't even know this was a Jimmy Hoffa movie.
Mm-hmm.
So when
I didn't know that Al Pacino was playing Jimmy Hoffa.
I didn't know that either. So when I'm watching,
so when he said, "Hey, Mr. Hoffa," I'm like, "What?
Like,
really?
What?
No,
really? Okay." And then the whole time, I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's just gonna just pop in the movie. He'll just be a cameo or something like that. Maybe they want to explain what happened to him because everybody, well, we know because we're not millennials and shit like that. We know about Jimmy Hoffa. We know that Jimmy Hoffa went missing, and it's like one of the biggest mysteries and conspiracies of American history. Yeah. We know that, so we like this movie. Like, okay, I wonder if they're going to explain what happened to Jimmy Hoffa. But eventually, they do.
Yeah,
in their own way, what he's claiming what happened.
Allegedly, he claimed.
Right. That's
because there's so many mobsters claim to. Yeah, I'm the one who shot Jimmy Hoffa. He's buried under Giant Stadium, or he's in the river, or something, or he's in an oil drum, and blah blah blah. We had him crushed in a car.
Right.
There's so many different conflicting stories.
I think one of them they said like they chopped him in different pieces and mailed him like in every like the farthest corners of every state or something, like one in Alaska, one in Maine,
It's all they're trying to gain notoriety. No one really knows. No one can really prove anything. But this is just another story.
Like this is his story. This Pete wrote, and it's actually based on a novel. The novel is called "I Heard You Paint Walls." And that's the funny thing. Like when the movie starts off, it doesn't call itself The Irishman. The movie calls itself "I Heard You Paint Walls."
Houses.
Oh, houses. Sorry. That's why we pay you the big bucks. I heard you paint houses. That's what it's called.
Which was code for I heard you kill people.
Right, because you paint the house. You paint the walls with blood. Yeah.
I also do my own construction when he said.
Right. He threw that little piece in there. So so that's how I feel about the movie. Like the first hour was just tough to get through. Like for instance, like can I recommend this movie to somebody else? I can't just recommend this movie to just anybody. Now, of course, if you're a Scorsese fan, stuff like that, you can do that. If you're a Marvel guy and you think Ant-Man's the greatest movie of all time, it's not your movie. This is a slow burn. Like I said, they said on it when you click the movie, it's a slow burn. It's a slow pace. You have to pay attention because different things will pop up later on. Eli, you said there are some iconic scenes on this. I didn't really get it. There's some cool scenes, but not iconic. There are no iconic lines like, all my life I wanted to be a gangster. I didn't get that crane shot from Goodfellas. I didn't get in Wolf of Wall Street, anytime Leonardo DiCaprio is making these big monologues. I get a few of that sometimes, but not just like that iconic scene that I feel like is going to be meme worthy. It's going to catch on. No Baby Yoda moments in here. That's how I felt. Not say I was looking for that, but where's that one moment that I could take away from this movie? Now, when you take a look at all of Scorsese's let's compare this to his other gangster movies. Now, whatever you want to, other people may not like those gangster movies. I think those movies that he made are some of the best movies of all time. Goodfellas, it's up there. Mm-hmm. Hell, Wolf of Wall Street is up there to me.
Wolf of Wall Street is basically Goodfellas with rich guys.
Yeah, I mean it's so close to a gangster movie. I in my opinion, I call Wolf of Wall Street a gangster movie.
Yeah. Here's an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
I didn't really like Gangs in New York.
That's not unpopular. That movie sucked.
Okay, yeah, because I read the book.
Yeah,
and they basically try to cram 200 years worth of history into like 2 hours,
like
3 hours.
The only thing I liked in the movie was Daniel Day-Lewis. He stole this, but he's Daniel Day-Lewis. He's going to steal the scene in every movie he's in anyway. Other than that, you can just throw the whole movie away. So that's that. But it's other gangster movies, some of the best of all time.
Casino, Departed, Mean Streets.
Best of all time. Mean Street, all these movies like that, just up there. Is Irishman on the same level as those movies? I know you gave it a 5 out of 5 or something like that. You put it up there. I can't put it up there. For instance, this is the best analogy I can give to it. Michael Jordan to me is one of the best he is the best basketball player of all time. For me, watching this movie was like watching Michael Jordan play for the Washington Wizards. That's just me. I mean, I felt like it's like a movie that is not quite where he was, still good, still entertaining, but it's kind of past its prime. It wasn't
I
there.
think, and that's the thing. I think that was the point. I think this is a more reflective gangster movie. The point was to be slow. The point was about looking back on the life of crime, or looking back on the life of a genre. You know, I think it's, like I said, it's Scorsese's tribute to the gangster genre. You know, and so that's why I didn't mind it. And as far as the first hour, I mean, it was just about his rise, him coming up. And I don't know. I don't know. And maybe that's just me, and I'm biased because I'm into this is my one of this. I like that type of. I like him. I like his style.
Yeah, and like I said, I've been on Twitter all day, and I'm hearing different opinions like that. Some people are rating it 5 out of 5 Oscar season. Get ready for it. They're gonna sweep it. Some people hate the movie. You know, yeah. I don't hate the movie. And I've heard people say, and I'm used to that. I mean, people say Taxi Driver's boring. I've heard people say Godfather or Goodfellas is boring. I'm like, well, if you can't hang, you can't hang. Yeah. You know, and like I will say this: for the way if this is the way he wanted to make this movie, Netflix was the best place to put this.
Yeah,
how I
feel.
This is not a movie I want to sit in a theater and watch. I won't, but not watching Netflix, sitting there kicking it back like that. Honestly, Eli, I'm about to say something very blasphemous. I almost felt like this would work better as a TV show.
But how many episodes?
4 or 5. Don't drag this shit out like a CW show. No, I don't want Black Lightning. You know, give me about 4 or 5 good, strong episodes. They could have squeezed this shit out, fleshed out the Cuban Milton Christ a little bit more. JFK, and maybe have him a character in there. They already had an actor, you know, playing him. You know, stretch shit out a little bit more. Give it more time to let it breathe even more.
I mean, there's. I guess that could have worked to explain a little more, like to explain the history. Because I think if people who don't understand the history might have a hard time with it, you know.
I mean, think about it. Anna Paquin is in the movie as a fucking cameo.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't say she hates her father. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you could have had if they had a TV show. Of course, you know, she got an episode to herself or some shit like that, you know. But it didn't work out like that.
I don't know. I mean, they could have, but I don't know. Would it have been as good as an episode? I don't know if it would have been as good. Because to me, I think it worked. I think just by showing and implying, you get the idea. You don't have to over-explain everything. You know, like I said, just by the actor's face, like just watching De Niro in his blank face, you get the heartache, you get the pain that he's feeling without him even saying anything. You know, and it's a CGI face.
And CGI. Okay, now you talk about the CGI. Now, for the most part, I didn't have a problem with CGI, except for one scene, which completely took me out of the movie, and I thought it was completely laughable. And honestly, Eli, that may become a meme. Okay, the scene where he's stomping out that guy in front of his daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
and
so you got CGI Robert De Niro looking like in his 40s or 50s, something like that, but he still got this 70-plus-year-old body stomping this guy out. And I'm just like, this shit does not work. Like, you could tell this is an old man stomping this guy out.
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't really know. I guess I was more into the point of that scene is you're witnessing the beat down through the eyes of her daughter.
And I get that. It's a very, like, a crucial moment of the entire plot of the movie, because that's the moment his daughter and relationship is fractured. Yeah. You know, that exact moment. So I get what the scene meant. I'm just saying it was
any other gangster movie, that's the thing. In any other gangster movie, that would be, that was so cool. That's badass. He just kicked, he slapped his daughter. He went in and beat the guy's ass. That would have been, world star. You know, everyone right. That would have been, like I said, the glorification of the ass kicking. Right. You know, but in this movie, no, you see it. It's horrible. You see it through the eyes of a child, and it's horrible.
And that's the moment his daughter never looked at him the same way again.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that scene was hilarious to me. That's all.
I mean, it kind of was.
I get what they were going for. I'm just saying it just took me out. I don't know.
And the guy who was beaten was a big fat guy who could barely move. So
hell, Robert De Niro could barely move. Like come on, guys, you think better than that. It didn't
take much to kick the guy's ass.
I'm just saying, those are like the slowest kicks ever. Like, come on, man. Oh man, but
of course he was a mob guy. The grocery store knew even before he walks in. How Frank, man, your daughter was out of line. Your daughter. Like before the first slap came, he's already like, wait, man, wait. He knew what he was there to do. He knew what he was there to do right when
he do. So that's my whole thing about The Irishman. It is a good movie. It is definitely one I recommend watching. I do feel like this movie is an acquired taste.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I say, like, because people are gonna ask us, Eli, what do we think about this movie? Should I watch this movie? Can I make a recommendation? I can't recommend this movie just to anybody. I got to do some.
If you like gangster flicks, if you like Scorsese, you'll like this.
I'm gonna give you another. I'm gonna give you another example. That Dolomite movie. What was the name of it? Dolomite is my name. That's the name. Of it. That movie we were recommending anybody. We weren't like, well, do you like this type of movie? Do you like type of movie? They'd be like, no, go see it. Go see it. This movie, I just can't say go see Irishman. I was like, are you into gangster movies? Do you have 3.5 hours to kill? Okay, maybe wait an hour and a half until Al Pacino pops up. Then I can recommend it. You know, the tough sell, but I like it. Overall, my score 3. I know it's the great Martin Scorsese, and I'm not shitting on him because we're getting Marvel checks. We don't get Marvel.
Are we?
Checks. Well, when I talked to Gomer, he said we are supposed to get Marvel checks every time we praise a Marvel movie because that's what critics do. But he said he's gonna hold the checks for us right now until further notice.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my score. So we're somewhere in the middle. You gave it 5 out of 5. That's probably our most lopsided score I think we've had on anything on this thing.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I know, like
Joker was like that too. I think Joker was like that too. I think we worried about it on Joker.
I thought we both thought it was just okay.
Oh,
I gave it a 3.
I didn't give it a 5. You gave it a 3. I said it was pretty good. I didn't like. Oh,
did you give it a 4?
I didn't do that.
Might have gave it a 4, maybe. I don't know.
I think I gave it a 4. I gave it a 4. But this I feel like is a wider gap than we even gave Joker. So I feel like this is probably our most divisive movie we've had on this podcast yet, which is cool. You know.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna wait to see how this thing goes. Want to see how.
I mean, to me, this was like Endgame for me. As much as Endgame was my Endgame too. But as much as Marvel fans are excited about Endgame, I was excited about this movie.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I don't want anybody to think I was targeting this movie or ready to shit on this movie. I was excited for this movie also because, like I said, I love Casino, love Goodfellas, love Wolf of Wall Street, and I was expecting a movie on that level. Me personally, I didn't get a movie on that level. I feel like I got a competent movie, you know, because even a bad Scorsese movie is still a better movie than most movies.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, we're just gonna disagree. Disagree.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
All right, so let's get past that. Like I said, video game news. I don't have anything. If I do, I'll come back with it next week. Let's jump into comics. Just go right at it. Should I go first?
Sure. You got the X minute, right?
I have the X minutes.
Go ahead. Do it.
Okay. So first thing we're gonna start off with is X-Force number 2. Okay. Like I said, after the shocking reveal of X-Force 1 last time we reviewed it, Professor X was assassinated by the Ravengers, who, you know, that was sent by the humans. So now they're all standing over Xavier's dead body. Magneto was there, you know, crying over his old friend. He's like, I should have been there for you. If I was here, I would have turned the metal, shoved it the dude's ass. He would have killed you, but I wasn't here. So he takes the Cerebro helmet and turns it to a sword. He was like, until then, I'm ruling. Everybody gonna run through me, but don't worry, we're gonna bring you back. So apparently, Charles did have, and you called it, Eli. Charles did have a fail-safe system in case something like this happened.
Yeah.
Maybe. You're going to drag this out as much as possible. So what happened is Jean Grey had another Cerebro that he backed up more than one Cerebro at the time. Had another one down there, but she don't know how to work it. So she called Beast down there, and Beast like, okay, I'm going to figure this thing out. I don't know if I can. If I do, blah, 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 whatever like that. So Jean Grey and Beast are trying to figure out how to, you know, revive this Cerebro because they fried Cerebro. They can bring back Professor X. But even that Wolverine's just like fucking pissed. He was like, I'm gonna find out what the fuck happened. Who the fuck killed Professor X? You know, Wolverine uses his expert tracking powers to track the smell of the airplane that dropped in the Ravengers. So he tracked them all the way to Saigon or Seoul or somewhere. He's in Asia somewhere. He finds out where they are. Seoul. Did I say it right? Seoul. Is it Seoul or Seoul? I think it's Seoul. Let's say Seoul. Okay. Korea. I think he's in Seoul, Korea. Anyway, he's there, killing a bunch of people, trying to find out who the fuck was trying to assassinate Professor X, while he's about to kill one guy, he's also joined by Quentin Quagmire. I think I fucked his name up. I know his name is not Quagmire. But anyway, let's go with that. Kid Omega, that's his name. He's actually the most powerful telepath in the Marvel Universe. Not Jean Grey, not Professor X, this kid. And he's just talking about, like, he's the kid that popularized the Magneto was right t-shirt because he wore it in one of the X-Men classes one time. He's that kid. So him, Quentin and Wolverine are teamed up, chopping up other people. They find out it's this other thing that they're cloning humans, but they're augmenting them in a way to make them a little bit stronger than what they were before. And they get loose and they start chopping. They start fighting Wolverine. Wolverine's chopping them up left and right. They just keep throwing guys at them. And Quentin Quagmire, I keep fucking his name up. I know his name is not Quagmire, but anyway, his powers are not working down there. So obviously, he has some kind of psychic shield going on down there. And Wolverine's like, if there's a psychic shield, then obviously trying to hide something or somebody from us. So I need you to find her. I'm like, find who? Her, because she must be here. He goes in the room and he finds Domino with half her skin peeled off. Now, the reason this is a big deal because the Ravengers were able to sneak into Krakoa because they had patches of Domino's skin on them. So when they pressed through, they just thought it was Domino walking through. So they peeled off her skin to put it on those guys, and apparently she like half dead, stuff like that. But anyway, that's how the book ends. So really, that's a 3.5 out of 5. Competent book. It wasn't that shocker like last issue was, but it was there. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna let you do New Mutants.
Fine, man. But that's your shit. That's cool. I'll do it.
You want to do New Mutants? I don't care.
Fuck it. I'll do New Mutants.
Or do you want me to do it?
No, I'll do it. I'll do it. It's cool.
Okay, because I'll do Venom.
Okay, because I didn't read that one. I didn't know that was out.
Yeah, Venom number 20, the last Absolute Carnage tie-in, sort of a epilogue, I guess. So, as you well know, Venom, Eddie Brock, killed Carnage last issue to save his son, but now he's released Null, the symbiote god, who's probably going to show up at some point. He finally admitted to Dylan that he is his dad. Dylan has some sort of power, which sort of gets explained in this issue. The Maker, who has escaped, who was actually secretly collecting all the codexes, the DNA samples of all the symbiotes, he escaped, and he's talking to somebody, and he's talking about how the mission has failed. This project, the fuck is it called? He's working on some project. I can't remember what it's called. Mm-hmm. He's talking to somebody. They don't reveal who it is. He's talking to somebody about how the mission's failed and shit and blah, 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 blah. But now he has that Dylan starts explaining something about Dylan and how he got his power, that somehow symbiotes are born from other symbiotes somehow. And because Eddie Brock,
I guess asexual reproduction or something.
Something like that, yeah. So somehow Eddie's symbiote, the Venom symbiote, made Dylan somehow. So he wants to use that, but he's also trying to go back to the Ultimate Universe.
I thought that was gone.
And that's what he's wondering. And because he has a sample of the Venom symbiote from the Ultimate Universe. And apparently that thing can travel between universes or something. Some shit like that. We cut back and forth. Fucking Dylan and Eddie have a sort of a father-son moment where he promises to protect him always and all that. No secrets, even though they are keeping secrets. Dylan hasn't revealed to Eddie that he has a power yet. You know what I mean? That he has some power. Then we find out that who the Maker's talking to. He's like, yeah, I want to use this symbiote from the Ultimate Universe to go back there and take over that universe, so he can join the Council of Reeds. And that's who he's been talking to.
Oh, okay, so the Council of Reeds still exists.
Yeah, and they're like, well, you can't do shit, and you got to be in charge of a universe. And you ain't done that yet. So we don't grant you the rank of master. And that's where it ends.
I mean, technically the Council of Reeds supposed to be killed off, but it's comics, so whatever.
Yeah.
You can do what you want. Yeah, give me a score.
Oh, 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay, cool.
Nice little wrap up to this whole wraps up. It's more of a wrap up. You know, it gives a little, like I said, it's like more of an epilogue to the
Yeah,
Absolute
I'm gonna say
Carnage run.
epilogue to it. Yeah.
You know, and then of course setting up some other shit. So
Okay. All right. Yeah. After reading through New Mutants, I may need to review this. Okay. So basically, what happens is New Mutant. This is New Mutants #2, still in the X minute we're doing right now. So last time we left off, the Jammers framed the New Mutants for stealing something. They got caught by the Shi'ar guard. They've been locked in jail, and they've been there for 3 days, and now they're finally in court. And Sunspot called in his space lawyer. He said he had in his back pocket the whole time. Like, don't worry about my space lawyer. Get us out of here. So when time comes for the judge to announce his sentence, he announced them all guilty. So the space lawyer sucks at his job.
they had a shitty lawyer.
Yeah, they had a shitty lawyer. He was like, okay, yeah, you sick, like, yeah, you're fired, you know. So he was like, I got 2 guards gonna come in here and drag you back in. Guards come in and they look at the guards and it's Cannonball and his wife, Power Smasher, some shit like
Super
that.
Smasher or something.
Yeah, Smash Brothers, something. Yeah, whatever. It's her. But anyway, they're all happy to see them, stuff like that. They were like, all right, you ready to get out of here? Because really, this is the whole thing is bullshit. I really came to get y'all out of here and we're going to go back home. I'm like, okay, cool. So they go back home. They're flying through Shi'ar space and stuff like that. But before they can, go back to Earth, Smasher gets a call from Gladiator. Now, everybody knows who Gladiator is. Gladiator is a dude from I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. That dude Juggernaut all over space. He's Marvel Superman. He's also the Emperor of the Shi'ar Galaxy. He's a big deal. So he basically tells them, oh, yeah, all your New Mutants buddies, don't worry about it. They pardon. They're good. But they got to do a favor for me. They're like, oh, what's this favor? Okay, so they tells them the favor. They got to go to another place in the Shi'ar space, and they have to actually recruit Deathbird to actually train, because Gladiator is going to step down from being the Emperor and he's going to let his niece or somebody like that take over, because he's like, I need to be on the front lines fighting shit like that. But we actually need a real queen. But since she don't know shit, I'm going to get Deathbird, the most evilest motherfucker in the universe, to teach her how to be a queen. Now, for those who don't know who Deathbird is, let me back this up. Deathbird is an old X-Men villain. Queen Lilandra, who you don't see anymore because they killed her off in Annihilation, one of them books like that, that's her evil sister. Why she's not the Shi'ar queen or like that, who knows? But anyway, she's back in the books. So, to be continued, I guess. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It felt more climactic than what I just explained it. But yeah, I was happy to see Deathbird. Oh, and they made Deathbird look sexy as shit in the book. And Sunspot saw her, knowing she's evil, he's like, oh, I'm in love. Mm-hmm. So yeah, overall, get the book. I'm gonna 45. I'm actually enjoying New Mutants, even though I never gave a shit about New Mutants before.
Really?
I never did until they turned into X-Force. Until Boom Boom showed up.
They might have lost me on this one.
Really? Well, I was just gonna flip flop on like whatever I say.
Okay. like all the cool shit to me happened in the intro, the first few pages. You know what I mean?
That was the funny shit. That was just your lawyer sucks.
The funny shit. Yeah, okay, we're in space jail. What's his face? He doesn't like the fucking the uniforms itch. And it's just like him who was it narrating? Is it
Sunspot? Yeah. Sunspot's
narrating, and he's like, yeah, so and so doesn't like his jail outfit because it's cotton. He's allergic to it. And then you got Magic, who keeps getting into fights, and she gets thrown into solitary, but she can pour herself out of it, so she keeps escaping solitary, and all this shit going on. It's like that's like the how the New Mutants are always fucking around and getting into trouble.
Yeah.
They kind of they kind of sandwich that into the beginning, and then let's talk about this court case, and then we go to now they got to go do this job for some Shi'ar royalty crap that I really didn't know. I don't know who the fuck.
That's what got me into it. I was like, okay, they got all these Shi'ar folks, Gladiator, Deathbird. That shit got me excited.
I don't know who the hell these motherfuckers are.
You're like, who is Jimmy Hoffa? I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know this shit. But it was also it was trying to be funny, but you could tell that Hickman can't write teenage dialogue.
Well, this wasn't Hickman. This was somebody else.
No, this was Hickman.
No, this wasn't Hickman. Oh.
Yeah, it's Hickman.
I thought it was some other person.
No, it's Hickman. And it's you got this.
Oh shit! It was Hickman.
Well-educated,
Oh Okay, now, honestly, Eli, I was kind of giving the book a pass because like it's not Hickman, so it was just like whoever this guy is, we'll just give a pass. But now it's Hickman. Now it's like, okay, y'all expecting more now.
Well, it's like, yeah, it's like this sort of knowledgeable, dialogue when you're, but like trying to get Shakespeare to write SpongeBob. You know what I mean? And you could tell he's trying to have these quirky teen conversations, but he can't write them for shit. Like the dialogue, especially during the card game and,
I thought the card game was kind of funny. They're playing the card game, but they can't read the cards, so they don't know who's winning.
Yeah, but just I'm just talking about like the dialogue, like what they're saying to each other, and like you can just tell, this is an old guy trying to write how those kids,
Hello,
talk.
young youths.
Yeah, was it that CB4? Was it CB4? It's like, that really wouldn't be the dope thing to do.
I don't know, Eli. I like the book. I like the book. I like the dialogue. I like the the dialogue between each other, like Sunspot and Cannonball having that little romance, whatever, like that. I liked all that shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I give it a 3.
God damn, man. Fucking 6.5 out of 5. Let's just
the first few pages, I was into it, and then I was like, then I'm like, damn, why did they just expand those first 3 pages? Because that whole thing about Magic getting into fights and taking out her sword all the time.
Right, that's just one panel. That's it.
Yeah, this is like one panel with 5 paragraphs of him explaining it. I would like to see that book, and then they throw her into solitary, then she keeps escaping.
I mean, now that you think about it, I would have liked to see a whole book of them just in jail doing shit. Yeah, that would have been cool.
Because it says space jail or whatever, right at the beginning, space jail. How are things going? Not great.
Yeah, and they said they've been there for 3 days, so.
And then, that's like one page. One page with just a ton of words, like explaining what happened for those few days. And like, okay, and then we go to the courtroom and the lawyer's stupid and, it was all right. And then it just like kept, now they're escaping and now there's some royalty shit. Now there's some space Game of Thrones shit going on, It's like, what happened to space jail? What happened to the kids in jail?
Yeah, they ran through that shit so fucking quick. They were just like, well, let's move on to the next plot.
Yeah. Hickman don't give a fuck about what the kids. Yeah. So, all right. Oh, is it me?
Yeah, it's on you now.
Okay. What else did I do? I guess I'll do detective. Should I do detective? Did you read detective?
I did not read detective. I just like the cover.
Oh, you just did that. I was like, wondering why
I just
is it
assumed that you read it.
Okay. Detective. Shit. I'm trying to get my. What number is it? 10, 16? Yeah,
10, 16.
So we have, Mrs. Freeze. Nora Freeze has gone, gangsta. She broke up with Mr. Freeze. She's going around, just fucking shit up, and Mr. Freeze and Batman have to team up and go after her. And that's basically essentially what this issue is. They go and fight her. They have a fight with her. She actually gets the better of him. She freezes Batman, and it takes him and just long enough for he does he's in his fighter bat suit, so he does melt his way out, but she escapes. But before she escapes, her and Mr. Freeze sort of have this moment where she's like, you will never stop fighting for me, will you? He's like, no, I love you. He's like, yeah, I know. You've dedicated your whole life to save me, so you will never stop coming after me, right? And she's like, yeah, I will. No, I want to save you, because she's got that the drug that's in her that's keeping her alive is basically making her crazy. And I want to save you. We got to get that out of you. We need to save you. He's like, you're not going to ever stop. You love me that much. She's like, yeah, so I know. And because you love me, you're never going to stop. That's why I got to do this. And she injects him with some poison. I forget what it was, but it fucks him up, and then she escapes. So she's out there. She took off to Canada, living somewhere in some cabin, frozen tundra and shit. And Batman had to save Mr. Freeze by freezing him. And now he's in the same container that Nora was in. And that's how he's kept alive in Arkham. So that's how it ends. Mr. Freeze is now where his wife used to be.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Pretty
interesting turn
cool.
of events. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. I give it a 4 out of 5. Nice, breezy, easy read, action and shit, and cool twist. So, yeah.
Okay. Next book I got is Fallen Angels #2.
Damn, another X-Men.
Another X-Men. It's like they just cranking these books out. They don't give a fuck anymore. Like, we're getting your money now. So yeah. So the book is. I'll just pretty much just go through it. Psylocke is approached by Cable, not Kid Cable. Kid Cable is telling her that he had this dream, or he got some information about this place that's getting attacked. That's got nothing to do with what they were doing before. Getting attacked, but they need to go and rescue the people there. Psylocke's like, nope, they ain't got to do with me. I'm trying to get this dude named Apoth. And if we do anything else other than what we need to do, we're going to get found out. And Magneto's going to shut us down. He was like, well, we need to go. Then somehow she talks to Dazzler, and Dazzler talks her into going with Cable. So she goes to Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister says, if you do me a favor, I'll let you go. So it's going to be Kid Cable, Psylocke, and what's the girl? X-23. They all go. Psylocke's like, if y'all take me with you, I just want you to know I'm a killer. I'm not like Bessie Braddock, that old English chick you know. If I find him, I'm killing everybody in there. So she's like, okay, cool. That's what we do. So they go there. Kid Cable does his little psychic thing. He doesn't sense anybody there. He doesn't sense anybody there because there's a giant robot that's about to attack them. The end. And there's also some story about some killer back in the past stabbing people, shit like that.
Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, something like that. Overall, 3 out of 5. I don't know. I was so hyped up for the first book. This one just kind of I don't know. It didn't grab me. I don't know what it was.
Did Hickman write that too?
Not this one. Brian Hill wrote this one, which was actually even more shocking. Because sometimes he can write better shit than Hickman.
Okay.
Sometimes.
All right.
That's all I got. Well, not all I got. I got one more book after that, but I'll let you go.
Oh well, the only other book I read. Really? Did I do 3? How many did I do? Venom. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, this will be my last book. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I got, what's that called? 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag, or.
Yeah, I love Joe Pesci in that.
The Bag Full of Heads, or what's it called? Basket Full of Heads. #2 from the DC Black Label, Hill Comics. Joe Hill presents, the guy who did Lock and Key and shit, his new horror line of
Stephen
comics.
King's son, yeah.
Stephen King's son. So this is #2. The first issue was about, this girl, I forget her name already. She goes out with this cop. They live in this small town that's kind of an island. There's a big storm coming, and they're kind of shutting the town down, and people are trying to evacuate because the town's going to flood and shit. They all hold up at her boyfriend's, the chief of police house. He lives in this big mansion. So they're all holding up there while the storm passes. But then, as it so happens, a bunch of escaped prisoners are running around. They escaped the prison, and they're loose. So the cops are kind of looking for them during the storm, but then they show up at the house. So so this starts out where that left off, where the prisoners have they're fucking people up in the house. The girl, she hid in the bathroom in a clothes hamper, and she's hiding out, and she's trying to escape, but then she gets chased down by one of the prisoners, and then she goes in this like weapons room where there's all these ancient weapons on the wall, swords and axes and shit. She grabs his axe off the wall. It's supposed to be some weird magic axe, and she ends up fucking chopping off the guy's head.
Oh damn! Okay. Well, I mean, they call the book that reason for it.
Yeah, but the thing is, he doesn't die. His head's still talking. He's like, "What the
fuck's
going on?"
It's like that chicken with a head cut off where you run around for like 5 seconds.
No, the body's dead, but his head's still alive. It's like, "What the fuck?
Oh.
What the hell?" And she's like, "What are you doing? Like, how are you still alive?" Like, "I don't fucking know what the fuck's going on." And she's like holding the guy's head, and he's like screaming, "What the hell? Help me!" And all, and that's where it ends. It's like, oh, okay. So this was a lot better than the first issue. The first issue was just a lot of setup, kind of setting up the relationships. He's got a boyfriend, and the guy's a cop, and the chief of police, and the house, and all that shit. And then it just ends with the escaped prisoners. Nothing much happens. And this one, like, whoa, okay. You can totally tell that he's building the mood. He's building the claustrophobic atmosphere and stuff, being trapped on the island that's being flooded, the storm's coming in and power goes out and shit. So he's really emphasizing on mood, you know what I mean? And just that twist of, okay, she just chopped off this guy's head and the head won't die. So she gets a basket and puts his head in the basket. So she's got one head. So she's obviously going to get more, hence the title. So,
One
so I
down.
give it a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it. 4 out of 5.
Okay, cool. All right. Next book we're going to review. Well, last book I'm going to review is what is this? Action Comics number. Give it a load up. 1017. Yeah, Action Comics 1017. Another one of those Year of the Villain tie-ins. So basically, how the book actually starts off with Superman getting the shit beat out of him, and apparently there's Batman in power armor, and Wonder Woman also just got shit out of beat her and waking up. And Batman's like, Clark, wake up! And Superman starts, waking up. He's like, quit calling me Clark in public. You're like, oh, well, you didn't ask anything else. So they look up, and who the fuck beat the fuck out of them? The Legion of Doom, standing right over them. And we don't know what the hell's going on. Superman's just like, look, Lex, I'll surrender if you stop blowing up the city and stuff like that. We're like, nah, do a better apology than that. And then while they're cutting it at, we cut back to what happened the day before. So apparently the day before, Clark Kent is having an interview with the new owner of the Daily Planet. The new owner of the Daily Planet is this lady named Miss McLeon. What they don't know is that she's the Queen Pen. There's a new Bendis character called the Queen Pen. She runs all the crime in Metropolis, and nobody knows who she is. And she owns the Daily Planet. So she's Clark Kent is interviewing her. She's being dodgy with the questions, asking where's Lois Lane. Lois Lane is a better reporter than you anyway. That's who I really want to talk to. Like, she's busy. But while he's doing that, some kind of big ray of light just pops out of nowhere and just starts screeching past the Daily Planet. Superman, there's a job for Superman. Up and away. He flies after it. He touches the light, and it teleports him to Gorilla City. Now, if those don't know what Gorilla City is, a Gorilla City is a city in Africa that lives nothing but talking gorillas. We're not going to talk about it anymore. We just let that go. So, yeah, they take Superman down. They jump Superman, hold him hostage, and then he's like, 2 seconds later, he's back in the Daily Planet, but he's looking all beat up and shit like that and disheveled. And he's just like, don't worry about it. Yeah, I got hurt. So while he's looking, he sees an explosion happen. He realized what the hell was happening. The whole thing was a diversion. They teleported him out of Gorilla City on purpose to get him out of the city so they can blow up this building. The building they blew up in was the building that the Queen Pen operated out of. So apparently, it looks like this whole technology they're doing, he's seen this technology before. It was from Leviathan. Leviathan is back. And it's like they're waging war on the Invisible Mafia, who is the Queen Pen, who they don't know about. So obviously Leviathan has stepped up his game. So like they're like, why is Leviathan going after organized crime now? What does organized crime want in Metropolis that he didn't have? They're like, boom, Lex Luthor. That's what it is. Book ends. And then that's what we got. So.
All right. We were going to talk about Action Bronson, but we didn't.
I mean, we still can. I mean, he would. Fuck, we talk about Action. We got nothing else to talk about. Let's talk about Action Bronson. You thought about that because I said Action Comics?
No. Well, I guess no. When you said the Queen, what did you say?
The Queen Pen.
Nobody knows who she was, or I can't remember what you said. Something in there. Oh yeah, we're supposed to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about. Okay, then my thing about Action Bronson. Like the show's over, we can talk about Action Bronson.
Well, no, write the book. How's this book?
Oh, I forgot about this book. Now I want to talk about Action Bronson. Shit. 3 out of 5. But I mean, the reason I got 3 out of 5 because fucking John Romita Jr. is drawing the book. I'm like, why, man? Why are you torturing me? Anyway, back to Action Bronson. Okay, so Action Bronson, is this the first time he's ever acted in anything? Because he was in The Irishman also, but he ever acted in anything?
Yeah, he had a little cameo. He was a coffin salesman.
Yeah, selling coffins, stuff like that. So here's my thing about Action Bronson. I like Action Bronson. He's cool, but apparently I'm not supposed to listen to him because there's this whole culture appropriation thing going on. Because if anybody actually ever heard Action Bronson, he sounds a lot like Ghostface Killer. Matter of fact, you probably heard Action Bronson before and thought it was Ghostface Killer.
Yeah.
So they're probably saying that he's purposely taking somebody else's, style and mimicking it. And we shouldn't listen to that because it's technically culture appropriation. You can almost call him a culture vulture if you want to really just go down that road. So I'm just listening. I'm like, yeah, I like his music, but now you tell me I can't listen to him. I tell you what would I do? I just listen to him and won't tell you I'm listening to him. How about that? But he hadn't made music since like 2011 or something. I hadn't heard shit from him.
Yeah, I haven't really listened to him. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, so
Like,
he's making it easy for me. So yeah, I can boycott somebody that hadn't made music in 8 years. Okay.
Yeah, but he's got a TV show. Doesn't he have a TV show where he goes around eating food and shit? What's it called? Fuck, That's Delicious or something?
The fuck? Okay.
That's
Never
what it's
heard of
called. It's on Vice or whatever. That's what it's called.
The hell
Fuck,
is
That's
Vice?
Delicious.
I don't have cable. I don't know what these new
Oh,
shows are.
Vice is that one show. It's like that news, Vice News, but they have their own network that shows mostly documentaries. Very woke, even though it's owned by like a conservative asshole.
Aren't they all? Disney?
They have like weed shows, like where they, weed. Does it Be Real have a show on there?
Does he? I didn't even heard the network, so.
Yeah, Be Real has a show where he like samples like weed chefs who make weed food. There's what's those guys called? Those two guys.
The Property
they're like
Brothers?
they're like a podcast. They're two like hip hop dudes in New York.
Oh,
and they have like
the Bodega Boys.
no, I forget what they're called. But they have like a show and all they do is talk shit.
I think you're talking about the Bodega Boys. Oh, D-Seuss and something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, the Bodega Boys. Yeah.
Okay, I forget what the show's called. But yeah, it's that type of show. And then they have, then Action Bronson has his own show. It's like a cook show, like where he goes around and just eats food from all over the world, and
Okay, I've never heard that before. I guess that's what he's been doing for the last 8 years when he's not making music. So
yeah, but yeah, he showed up in The Irishman.
that part is pretty cool. I mean, until you mentioned it, I was just like, who the fuck is this? Now I'm looking for Action Bronson the whole time in there, so I'm just like, okay, cool. So
Yeah,
because you said that, we're gonna end with an Action Bronson song.
All right, strictly for my Jeeps.
Oh no, I already know what song we're gonna do. You're gonna hate it though. All right, so like I said, if you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. We have our other podcast. We have our sister podcast, Geeks Ave. Just listen to it. We got Comic Cast. Just like we hate every book, every book I like, Eli hates. They hate and like everything that we hate. So
Yeah.
definitely listen to them. We also got Hoodoo TV. Oh, Eli, we got to listen to Get Value. Everybody listen to podcasts. Go listen to Get Value. They actually made a really good episode because they had that guy Dinesh something. The guy that bought Valiant like a couple years ago. Yeah, they got him for the show, for this episode. So I need to check that out. Go support Get Valiant. What else we have? Hoodoo TV. We have Talking Balls. We have that wrestling show. I can't remember the name of it. Y'all need to change it to that wrestling show. It's
Wrestling
better.
Council.
Yeah.
Or the Council of Wrestlers or something.
I like that wrestling show better. Look, Boogie, change it to that wrestling show. I'm telling you, it's going to blow up overnight. I won't even charge you more than 5% per episode for that.
With an explanation point at the end.
Exactly.
That
Or,
wrestling
not
show.
another wrestling show. Something like that. Workshop it to get back to me. Next week, I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna 2 more episodes to Watchmen. Hopefully, Doomsday Clock can come out next week because I want to save Doomsday Clock. We're gonna do a big blowout. We're gonna do the Watchmen movie, TV show, the comic, and
Make
Doomsday
me watch
Clock.
the Watchmen movie again.
I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna.
I got DCEU. I got the DC app.
It's the
so I might as
theatrical
well.
version. If you're gonna do it, you got to do it. You got to do more than the theatrical version. You got to do that. The ultimate Snyder cut.
With the Black Freighter and shit.
Yeah, all that shit. Yeah, that's the version you got to watch.
The bodies on the. Oh wow! I just made another fucking. I just thought of something. You know how Ozymandias is launching bodies off the catapult and shit?
Yeah.
He's using dead bodies. Wasn't that dude in the Black Freighter? He was like, he made a raft out of dead bodies.
He did.
Damn.
Okay. Because we'll get to it. I'm pretty sure that's how all this shit together some kind of way. So
Did I just figure out an Easter egg?
maybe, or maybe they don't even know what the hell they're doing.
Or maybe they're just like, oh shit, yeah.
oh yeah, that shit did work. Okay.
Yep, we thought of that.
All right. So yeah, until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
And we'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.
Why you always all on my back? Why you gotta do me like that? Why you gotta act like a bitch? I paid for the bed and never even slept in it. I paid for that crib and never stepped foot in. And now somebody else is eating all the pudding. Things changed, now my dashboard wooden. All black Benz like a young Doc Gooden. Dark shades cause I'm stone crazy. Girl, we grown, stop playing on my phone, baby. All your childish attempts to make me angry fall short, which only fuels the rage you have because you have nothing. Understandable, I'm shining brilliant with 5 Brazilians. There were times I used to hide my feelings. Now I'm butt naked in a Lamborghini and motherfuckers can't see me. Wait till this chick see me on TV. I make this shit look easy. Who would've thought I hit you right back? Why you always all on my back? Why you gotta do me like that? Why you gotta act like a bitch when I'm with you? Yeah, baby girl, I'm blue. So many women wanna call me baby, and you wonder why the fuck that I ain't call you lately. Some would say that I'm the symbol for sex, and others would hate, but I don't give them no breath. Go on a date, I'm at the crib with the chef, and that's me. And you could order whatever. The specialty is white snake and underwear sauce. You could probably catch me somewhere where the sunny next. And I understand it's only cause I'm popular. I'm getting topped off in the front row of the opera. As Bocelli sings, the celly rings. I gotta go, you'll never know how good it feels to lay in bed with King. I'm not exactly flawless, but I'm gorgeous, just like a horse is. I know the thought of me succeeding makes a lot of people nauseous. Still I'm on the back of the boat, taking pictures with the surface. Why you always all on my back? Why you gotta do me like that? Why you gotta act like a bitch when I'm with you? Get a paper cut on your tongue from a razor in a paper cup. I hope every soda you drank already shaken up. I hope your dreams dry like raisins in the baking sun. I hope your titties all saggy in your early 20s. I hope it's always snow in your driveway. I hope you never get off Fridays and you work at a Fridays that's always busy on Fridays. I hope you win the lottery and lose your ticket. I hope it's Ben and Socrates poop all up in your kitchen. I hope the zipper on your jacket gets stuck, your headphones short, and your charger don't work, and you spill shit on your shirt. I hope your tears don't hurt, and I can smile in your face. Cause my loss is how Delilah changed my locks to a fade. I hope you happy, I hope you happy, I hope you ruin this shit for a reason. I hope you happy.